During the marathon, the runner was injured and fell, but then two runners came to the scene to pick her up and take her to the finish line. At a championship ceremony, the Japanese flag was hoisted, and as soon as a foreign player saw the flag, he immediately raised the flag in the air, and everyone present paid tribute to the player. A boxer was injured in this MMA bout, and some time later his rival boxer reached out to caress him, and finally he also hugged him. The kid wanted to ask the basketball player sitting next to him for an autograph, but was disappointed to see the player leave. But suddenly the player turned around and signed him on his basketball. Seeing all this, the child was very excited. In a car race, the car in front was unable to accelerate due to a malfunction, but then another competitor came from behind, helped him, and pushed him to the finish line. When a player was injured in a basketball game, an opposing player first came to help him, began trying to stand him, and finally both two hugged each other. One little girl asked the player for his hockey stick. The player immediately gave the hockey stick to the little girl, which made the girl cry. This child suffering from paralysis wanted to win in a wrestling match, so to fulfill his wish everyone did something like this, so that the child got an amazing tribute from all the people around him. During the marathon, an athlete was injured while running, and another athlete came over from behind her, picked her up, and led her to the finish line. The woman couldn't run the marathon, and two men supported her as she walked. In In a wrestling match, the fighter defeated his opponent, and when the fighter was seriously injured, the fighter carried him on his shoulders and gave him great respect.
So much pain here, the Aziri. Will he tap out? He does. Absolutely exhausted. Nice show of respect between the two. Stanislav Papal. Oh, look at that. There's a show of respect if you ever needed to see one. Gasimov of Gaines.
After the football match, the footballer donated his shoes to a female fan sitting in the audience. During a football match, a fan came to the pitch to meet his favorite footballer, but some defenders started grabbing him. Then the footballer did something that took everyone by surprise. In a badminton match, his opponent was injured, and for the very first this player came to help him. After that, everyone stood up and saluted him. The athlete was very tired when running and was not in a running state. When another athlete came running behind him, he began to pull the athlete to run forward. A child who had lost both his legs wished he would play football with the talented footballers. Soon after that, they fulfilled his wish. Ronaldo handled a player when he got the injury in the middle of the match. Ronaldo's generosity earned him a lot of applause. In a badminton match, the female referee was injured by the ball, and no one paid attention to her. But later a player came to deal with it, and everyone clapped for it. During a football match, a kid comes to the field who was Neymar's biggest fan. Then the entire team has fun with that kid.